All right, this is video 5 of 7. And so we're going to continue talking about the California Water Project. And this last one will be the California Aqueduct. And so this is obviously the largest of the three, and it was constructed in the 1970s. This begins at the Sacramento River Delta and carries water through the Central Valley, where a lot of our agriculture is being done, reaches Bakersfield, and then it actually has to be pumped over the Tehachapi Mountains. If you've ever driven up the 5, that is the Grapevine. You are going up and over the Tehachapis. I will tell you that this was, California was almost 2 states. And it was because of the difficulty getting up and over that mountain range. And obviously we've done it, the 5 freeway, and we've had train routes and things that go over it now. And then once it comes back over, it branches, some going to feed Lake Paris and Riverside, and then some heading down into Castaic Lake in the Los Angeles National Forest. So this is a huge water project. It was one of the biggest in the world. There are bigger ones now, but moving water. So there's a sign, the California Aqueduct. You can see how water is meandering through, and one of the major dams, again, this place is dammed quite a bit. And if you ever take the lab, we stop at a place that actually shows you the California Aqueduct as a model. The state of California consumes more energy just pumping water than many other states use for all of their needs. So this is a massive undertaking of water movement, of energy used. And I don't think people realize this. If this system fails, we're going to have less energy because of the dams will not be running, but also a lack of water. So here we have some of the controversy is the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. And so what happens is water kind of is tapered through, dumps into this delta, and then we drain the water off. And by doing this, there's all kinds of pluses, obviously, is getting water to where we think it's needed. But minuses is the delta itself. There's a little fish called the delta smelt. And that fish is an endangered species because of the fact that we are not letting the water jump into the delta. Now, I want to give you this idea. There was proposals in the 1940s for peripheral canals, and the word peripheral means sides. And so the idea is to save the delta, they would divert the water up and around it in pipes. That's peripheral. And make these twin tunnels. And these twin tunnels then would keep the water from actually flowing into the delta. And the idea was that it would do less damage, although it's going to deprive the delta of some of its fresh water, making it more salty. And when needed, they said they can dump more water in the delta. Now, if you're fighting us for food and water in LA versus a small, tiny little fish, who do you think wins that war? And I guarantee you that fish has no chance. So the peripheral, a series of proposals started in the 1940s. This was in the news last year. And what was scary about it is they talked about the peripheral canals and these 2 canals. And so our governor said, well, what if we, and this was not the current governor, it's Governor Brown, compromise and do a single canal. And so this fight is still going on. If you drive through the San Joaquin Valley, there's signs about no food, no water, no food. They want more water. Maybe we need to, and we're going to talk about our irrigation practices. Even up north, this is San Francisco. They're like, if God didn't give Southern California enough water, then they don't deserve a canal to bring it from somewhere else. These are the same people that have their own aqueduct, and this is Hetch Hetchy. They actually flooded a second Yosemite for their water. So, this is Hetch Hetchy. This is pictures of it before and after. So there's the valley on the left with the river going through it, and now there is the reservoir full of water. So. Again, that valley has been changed forever. Trump and California water. At one point, they wanted to renegotiate the terms, and the federal government wanted to come in and say, hey, we're going to change this so we can get more water to the farmers, because that is his part of his political base. That was unprecedented, because that was the federal government telling the state how to manage its money. And, you know, just to give you an idea, about kind of the understanding, and he's, you know, he said this, and if you look, 2018, the reason we have California wildfires is because we are not using our water properly. It's being diverted into the ocean. Is being sent to the Pacific Ocean. We should be capturing it and keeping it, and we need to clear our trees. And just a couple days, I guess a week ago now, after all the fires, he basically said we're not raking up our forests, we're leaving the dead leaves underneath. And so very scary for me, just because the person does not understand good environmental principles. And with that, we will stop the share and stop the recording.